hustle to structure. It is the Migrant Entrepreneurial Blueprint. To start with, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Edirin Ajayi, aka Naija Hot Mom. I am the program coordinator of the Nigeria community in Portugal. I work hand in hand with the social director and other stakeholders in the community to create events that are geared towards building a strong sense of community amongst Nigerians here in Portugal. On that note, let me briefly introduce the Nigerian community as well. The Nigerian community in Portugal is a duly registered organization, association, whatever you choose to call it, here in Portugal. Registered with the Portuguese government, committed to supporting and empowering Nigerians living in Portugal by promoting integration, economic growth, and a strong sense of community, through the organizing of social organize economic events, networking events. We create career and networking opportunities. For example, we have one particular event that is coming up sometime in June, titled Career Opportunities and Thriving in Portugal as Immigrants 3.0. It's going to be the number 3 event. It's an annual event. We also have other park events, that we just do from time to time, especially during the summer, to keep families together, to keep people, thriving in Portugal. Usually when migrants arrive in Portugal, you have so many dreams, before you move to a new country. You have dreams, you have aspirations, you have things you want to achieve. But when you land, there are things you're going to face as well. The reality, ranging from rent to jobs, job hunting, to documentation of your documents. Those are the important things. Documentation, that is in fact the very first thing that you have to do. And then you have to learn the language. There is a lot of uncertainty, a lot of uncertainty that happens. But today, this webinar today, Beyond Survival, from hustle to structure, is about moving beyond. It's about moving beyond not just survival, but starting to build structures, and economic power. So that's what you're going to hear today. We are honored. We are honored to have Mr. Tijani here today. He's an entrepreneurial coach. He's a founder of OneMAI. I know him one-on-one, and I know that he's a master strategist when it comes to, entrepreneurship. He's very big on creating structures. And he has created a platform to help communities to structure their savings, to access opportunities, and to grow collectively. You have something you do on the side. How many of you? How many want to start a business here in Portugal? Whether you're inside Portugal, you're living here, you're outside. I mean, it doesn't matter. People could be joining this live from wherever. But how many of you want to start a business here in Portugal? This is the right room for you to be. How many feel overwhelmed about where to begin? You know, sometimes life's crisis, the situations you find yourself, sometimes make it blur your vision, you know, to the point that even if you have ideas, you have creative ideas, you have your creative juices flowing, because of issues, you know, because of problems, because of stumbling blocks here and there, they tend to limit your vision. This is the right room you have to be. TJ is the one that would open up that space for you to pursue your dreams once again. So as we continue with this session, if you have any questions, kindly drop them in the section, in the comment section, and the host will do justice to that. If the above questions I asked already are not amongst the questions that are bugging you, drop the ones that are bugging you. He would answer them for you. Let me speak a little bit more about TJ again. You know, because TJ himself is a migrant entrepreneur. He's building solutions across Europe and Africa. He has experienced survival mode. He didn't just arrive where he is today. Whatever it is that you're going through, you know, trying to structure your business, trying to find your feet, he is a migrant like you, and he's been through that process. And that is why he has the experience to, you know, direct you, to show you the path. Because right now he's building systems that help communities to move into that growth mode. I know TJ, like I said, he's very particular about strategies. So today he's here to share practical frameworks on how migrants can structure their hustle to build sustainable income and to tap into the collective financial power. Please, let's welcome the founder of OneMAI, TJ. Tijani, that's his full name. So let's welcome him. TJ, welcome.
Hey,
how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you very much. That was a lot of hype, though.
Is it?
Yes, but thank you very much, Nigeria Hot Mom. It's a pleasure to be here. I really do appreciate the avenue we're trying to build for people in Portugal, and of course, there's a whole lot of things to be achieved. Thank you very much. Yes, am I very audible? Let me look in the chat very quickly. Are people warming up, or they're still cold, or let me see. Okay, so it's going fantastic. All right. Thank you again, Niger Hot Mom. Thank you, NCIP. For those of you listening, you might be listening from anywhere, any part of the world. You might be listening from Portugal. You might be listening from Nigeria. I saw on the list, you know, different places, different people. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm gonna try as much as possible to speak on a base level, so that at least everybody gets to understand and gets to find out the message that we're trying to pass across today. So the next 40 to 45 minutes while I'll be speaking, I will try to make it worth your time. It's exciting. Entrepreneurship is a very exciting journey, which I personally have lived. Like Niger Hot Mom said, I have been in survival mode also. I have moved, I have built structures. And even before I came in here into Portugal, the beautiful country, Portugal, you know, sunny, beautiful, amazing, safe Portugal. I particularly was involved in different ventures that were creating sustainable values for people. And that is one of the core things that I really do care about. Can our team just quickly look again to see if everybody is okay in the chat? You can just let me know. Fantastic. Thank you very much. So what I've been doing, let me quickly introduce myself again. But today is not about me. Today is about you, dear listeners, joining this YouTube Live. I am an entrepreneurial coach, right? I have built structures, like I said. To align with what we are going to be speaking about on this very first webinar collaboration between NCIP, another fantastic group of a fantastic community. I have personally been able to assist and support some entrepreneurs that just came into Portugal, and it's with some of them it's been quite an amazing journey, right? It's quite important for us to, on our side, while we prepare these entrepreneurs for their for whatever ventures they want to create, and we've done that amazingly well. And even from, like the coders used to say, E to E, from the points of ideation to the points where they start to get customers, and even to the point where we try as much as possible to ensure that some of their customers are returning. When migrants arrive in Portugal, I mean, it's a known thing, something I've lived also. Survival becomes the full-time job. You are looking for how you are going to be able to pay your rent. You have some bills to pay. You have to pay for those that are going to pay for needs. You know, a lot of things. Your head gets muddled up. It is very, very understandable, my dear people. It is very understandable. And matter of fact, to bust your bubble a little bit, you must go through, regardless of whatever structure you already have from where you're coming from, you will have to go through some of these things, which we particularly call the survival mode. You have to do multiple jobs, or for those that are, or you, in a situation like Portugal that has a very low job index, you know that, oh man, by this time you want to start sending money home, you know, it's just a tough situation where it feels like there's no safety net, and then your hustle mentality kicks in. All of us have lived it. Niger Hotmore might be, I mean, I think she has a lot of money, so I think maybe she didn't live that kind of that kind of but I lived it.
I'm flattered.
Yeah. Absolutely. So people now begin to think like, oh, I am now in Portugal. They start to think of, you know, things they want to do. They start, if you're an engineer, you start to think about, you know, getting cleaning jobs. You know, I'm not saying cleaning jobs are fantastic. A matter of fact, if you are an entrepreneur and you approach cleaning job as a structured business, which is one of the reasons why we are here today, if you approach cleaning job as a structured business, you might even be earning more than some CEOs, some so-called CEOs, right? So people just get into those jobs. All they want to do is to earn and to be able to survive. Like I said again, it's okay. But I want to tell you something. Hustle, your constant hustle is going to give you income. You're going to be surviving, you know, day to day. But when you have structure, you are able to build wealth. You are able to create. You are able to understand that whatever you're doing can be scalable, regardless of how little it is. I used to make a very dry joke, and I say that, you know, I tell some of my mentees that it is important that you understand that for you to become an entrepreneur, you have to be able to spot patterns. One of the patterns I've realized, and I've spotted my own self, it's funny, but I've spotted it. A lot of people in the EU have dirty sneakers. where, the tourists are, you have a high concentration of the tourists. Sit down there with a soap and or whatever sneakers cleaner, whatever you think can clean their sneakers, and you might be able to make maybe up to 5,000 euros per month. Because as you are passing, each tourist is looking. Oh, this is something simple, but and then they pull up their sneakers and they make it clean, and then they pay you 5 euros for it. And at the end of the day, you are able to, to generate something. But that right there is where also is actually income. But when structure comes into place, that income becomes wealth creation. Because when there is now structure, you are going to need somebody to maybe help you out with your accounting. You might need somebody to help you out with, like we have at OneMAI, which we are practically a small team. But yeah, we have people. You will now get to need people that are going to be required to handle some different departments. That right there is what we call a framework. And that framework is the basis. Those are the pillars for you to be able to create scalable businesses. There's a difference between creating businesses, and then there's a business between creating scalable businesses. No pun intended. I've seen some businesses from my fellow country people, and I just think about it and I run it through my mind, and I get to do a deep dive, and then I find it very difficult to be able to see where the business can become scalable. So if I approach you now and I ask you that, okay, the business that you're doing, can you replicate it in another city? If I give you, if the starting capital that you need for your business is 5,000 euros, right? If I give you 50,000 euros, can you replicate it very quickly in other locations? Can you do that easily? So that is where structure again needs to come in. I'd like to know if people structure themselves from the survival mode to hustle income, and from hustle income to structured income. The structured income is that one that you already have, people you're working with, and then you now go to the next one, assets. So now there are four economic stages, which I practically call the migrant economic stages: the survival income, the hustle income, the structured income, and the assets income. Survival income, let me quickly go back to that, right? The survival income, the one that you do where you need to pay your rent. The hustle income, oh, okay, you already have a job. I want to throw one very sharp arrow. And I've seen this trend within, and I know that there are a couple of tech developers in the chat. I can see some of you. I say hello to you. But I'm going to tell you something. You have not been able to get into structured income if what you have is just you doing a tech development job. And because you are the intern now, developers get paid very well, be it, an AI engineer, a machine learning engineer, an AI developer, a data engineer, all of those things. Yeah, you get paid very well, which is very understandable, right? Or you've not been able to proceed from your hustle income. And I'm challenging every one of you to be able to think outside to see that when you are able to carry your hustle income to the next stage, you become a structured income. And after that, now you become assets. And that asset is what gives you the room to be able to go on vacations, to be able to really do care about supporting people back home. After supporting ourselves, a lot of us also have this, this normal trend of getting calls, getting messages from back home that, oh, this, I need survival income, hustle income, structured income, or the asset income. What we are doing right here is for us to be able to create that roadmap that is going to drag us from the beginning, from the beginning of the E, the first E, which is the end, the beginning of the journey, to the other end of the journey. Let's reflect on that for a minute. And then we start to think about, blueprints, the blueprints that we're going to be using. There are opportunities, a whole lot of opportunities in the EU. Like I said, we are not using any company jargons. We are going to be speaking very basic so that everybody gets to understand. Nigeria Hot Mom, are you with me?
Yes, I am with you. I am
Absolutely.
with you. I was actually thinking about the cleaning jobs thing you talked about. So for the cleaning jobs, you know, here in Europe, you cannot just wake up and say you want to register a cleaning business or you want to go and do a cleaning job on that scale.
Right. That's right.
So I know the government professional school where you can go acquire some training and get your certification.
Yeah.
The IEFP, Instituto de Emprego e Formação Profissional. So you can go there, get your certification, and then you're authentic.
Yeah, that's right.
The second thing,
yes.
Sorry, the second thing is the dirty sneaker part you talked about. You know our people, you know where we come from. How many of us are going to be willing to sit in the snow or sit under the sun and start telling people to bring their shoes for them to clean? You know us now. You know us. So absolutely. Until we infuse some form of humility, tone down our ego, that is the only time that we can actually tap into those small, dirty looking businesses that have a lot of money in it.
That's right.
Yeah. And that's what I wanted to contribute.
Exactly. Thank you very much. And those little businesses that we call the dirty businesses are actually, I remember some time ago, I met with Chief Bode George in Lagos, and we were in his hotel lobby, and we were talking about, how entrepreneurs, he was giving us an advice, Chief Bode George has been there, he has been around, he has been a chieftain for different for political parties in Nigeria. And he mentioned something about how it is important for us young people to know that the core or the biggest amount of money is in shit. So that's exactly because a lot of people don't want to do shit. So that is exactly where the money is. So if you are now able to, first of all, proceeding into the Migrant Entrepreneurship Blueprint, if you are now able to stabilize a little bit for yourself, in terms of income, then at least you have a reliable source of income, something very little. You don't have to, you don't have to have all the money in the world. Then you can now move into small structured hustle. But you see this small structured hustle, I know that I made the example of the white sneakers, but there are a whole lot of opportunities in the EU, like I said, especially for the migrants, right? So now, for the entrepreneurs who are able to spot some of these things, and for those people that are willing to start looking into it, I want to give you some practical steps. We are definitely not, this is just a webinar, but we are going to be around. We're going to share some stuff that will help you and will make ourselves available for you to reach out to us so that we are able to, provide, guidance when people have that urge to want to create value for themselves, value for the community, value for the country as a whole. The first part of what I want to say in you understanding yourself before, venturing into entrepreneurship is that you have to have some skill sets, right? You have to be able to understand patterns. Understanding patterns is me looking at European shoes and say, why are their sneakers always dirty? You know, oh, I mean, no pun intended, but a lot of them don't care about their sneakers, which is practically okay, right? So you have to be able to understand that pattern. Then another thing that you should be able to figure to have inside yourself as a skill set is for you to have creativity embedded, or you develop it, right? So when you are a creative person, you are going to find your ways around how you will be able to ensure that within a very short period of time, I'm using the sneaker analogy again as an example to be able to see how you clean people's sneakers, so that you do not waste so much time in the sun, and you create an enabling environment for you so that you don't even feel like it is the sun. I mean, and luckily for you, if you are in Portugal, the sun does not always hit you very hard. Like, it will hit you hard if you are in like Sokoto or even FCT Abuja, Nigeria. Then you have to spot those opportunities, right? Which is the third thing I want to quickly speak about. You have to be able to spot those opportunities, and then execution it cannot be pushed aside. How you execute, how you carry out your task, your daily task, your habits that are going to make you become a successful entrepreneur. Then the fifth thing I'm going to quickly speak about is the discipline. Discipline to know that it is highly important for you to create habits that are going to make you more open to being successful. So whether you want to create a fix, you want to understand that, you want to create a fixed service, you want to create fixed pricing, you want to understand your customers. All of these things are embedded in the skill set of being an entrepreneur. And for us that have been in the diaspora, that have been in the EU for a while now, there's one major thing that I always preach about: communities. The NCIP community is a fantastic one that I am also in the group, and I'm also in a couple of WhatsApp groups where a lot of value is being shared. But as an entrepreneur, you have to understand that it is not you. First of all, for somebody like me who is in the tech industry, if I have somebody come to me to speak about how they need to create a business or to create a venture, the first thing I want to know is who is back, who are the people that you are doing this with. We have this, so of course we all know that we have this trait of always wanting to be CEO. CEO is just a title, it doesn't pay bills. You can't use it you can't even tell your landlady that you're a CEO. Matter of fact, the more you say you are a CEO now, your landlord or your landlady, for the people that are renting, they are going to expect you to be paying your bills very quickly. So that's where community power comes in. Community power is that thing that makes your life easier. Community power is that thing that makes your entrepreneurship journey easier. You do not get to underestimate what a community power can do for you. And that is one of the reasons why I personally decided from the beginning, where we had to speak to over 500 people from the inception, from the point where we started to build OneMAI. OneMAI, by the way, is if you check out OneMAI, maybe just go to joinonemai.eu or joinonemai.ng or joinonemai.com if you're on a global platform. That's one of the reasons why we created OneMAI, because we understand that social power is a very high currency that you can spend anywhere. Take it to the bank. Your social power is that thing that can make me approach Niger Hot Mom and tell her that, I think we should be able to do this. It is that thing that will make me be able to meet members of the Nigerian communities in Portugal to say that, is what we can build. If you have a very strong social, a strong community, that means you practically have a strong currency that you can take to the bank. Sorry, I think our media guys are speaking to me. Okay, do they want something? Okay, thank you very much. I have seen that. Thank you. Yeah, so your group, migrants are only going to to get closer to success if you operate in teams. If you are saying, like, I will use one example. There was a lady that came to me, and she gave me her business card, and she's cleaning, and she helps people clean their houses, their Airbnbs, and all of that. And then I was looking. Eventually I got to understand that there are quite a number of people that are into the cleaning jobs, right? One simple strategy could just simply be that, in as much as all of them are individual cleaners, for all these people to come under one umbrella, whether you live in Porto, you live in the Algarve, you're in Albufeira, you're in Braga, all of them should go under one company's umbrella. That means lesser taxes, you share risk, you share expenses, but you are earning solo based on, so that's already is a very small structured framework that even the people that are offering cleaning services can even start working around with, So this bridge right here is what can make your entrepreneurship journey a whole lot smoother. I think we should start looking into it. We will definitely, like I said, we will be open to helping groups in our communities be able to create structures, be it, we have partners already, we have perks that we've already put up, we have accountants that are cheaper, based on our partnerships with them. We have firms, we have legal firms, we have accounting firms, because when you are doing this and you are doing it legally, right, you would need to be registered as a company, have an accountant based on the laws, the Portuguese laws. You would need to just practically have a structure, start your green receipts and every other thing in that space. So that is actually one of the reasons also why, like I said earlier, we built OneMAI. We started building OneMAI because of communities. And what OneMAI is building is a very simple ecosystem that is going to give people access to alternative financing. But for the purpose of this webinar, it is much more about how we want our people to be able to embrace entrepreneurship. The job market index is very low. Can I repeat that? I said the job market index in Portugal is very low. I have tried to get jobs for people. We have worked on their CVs, we have worked on their LinkedIn pages, but at the end of the day, you as a migrant coming from maybe a non-speaking Portuguese country, you might be coming in here, and one of the strongest barriers that you're going to be having is that you do not speak Portuguese. I do not speak Portuguese either, but I am lucky enough to operate on a level that if I go into some offices and they are speaking Portuguese, the fact that we are creating some sort of value makes it easier for them to switch and say, for them to mandate themselves to speak English because of us, because we are creating value. But however, of course, let me put a disclaimer on it. I am actively learning Portuguese at the point in time, so that I'm also going to be able to integrate stronger, better into the community. So getting back to OneMAI, what we have built is a traditional rotational savings system where people are able to come together, put money together for the betterment of each and every one in the group. But some might ask me, as they have already asked during our journey, that what, the people care about safety, and those kind of things. We don't want, we were very deliberate about what we're building. So we ensured that we created, we have an AI system we have an AI system that works in such a way that it reduces and it mitigates the risk of, possible defaults when people are pulling their funds together. I mean, rotational savings is quite popular in places like Latin America and Africa. So as a Yoruba man myself, we call it a job. The Igbos call it a susu, and in French, they call it tontine, in Chinese, they call it gui, in India, it's called chit fund, so this is a very solid global concept that we have created, and we have created an orchestration layer that will be connected to electronic money institutions, regulated electronic money institutions, where your funds are going to be kept. So you can come on OneMAI and be able to create your virtual IBANs, and you get your debit cards, and you practically use OneMAI platform practically as a bank. So that's one of the things we've been working around. And, because it is important for us to know that access to financing is major for us. Yes, Nigeria, please go ahead.
Okay, so I wanted to just chip in something regarding when you talked about walking into an office and, offering value. They're listening to you because you have value to offer. That's just how it is here.
Yeah.
Because this country we are is, they practice protectionism. So if they have jobs or spaces or anything like that, it's to their people first.
Yeah.
It's to their people first. So except you have something extra you're bringing in, and if they see that extra value, and then they can listen to you.
Right.
The second thing is there is a terminology that we use in social work called Ubuntu community. I am who I am because we all are. On my own, I am nothing. It's like when the scripture says, on my own, I'm nothing, but with God, I'm everything. But this time around, on my own, I'm nothing, but with community, with the people, I am good.
Yes.
So I want us to remember that through collaboration, community collaboration and things like this, coming together to do things, we are stronger together. We are stronger together. Coming to this country, you cannot just hit the ground running. You need support from time to time. So I wanted to just chip that in.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you very much, Nigeria Hot Mom, for that addition. Yes. So to quickly just round up what I was talking about on why group savings can be a secret weapon, a financial secret weapon. It's because you cannot go to the bank and the bank is going to give you money. If you were in Nigeria, you have credit history. The bank might consider giving you, if you reach out to any of the commercial banks in Nigeria, they might give you some money, right, for loan for you to be able to do stuff. But over here, the bank's not going to lend to you because you do not have credit history. It's as simple as that. So what we have built, because we were trying to solve the problems of lack of transparency and even lack of scale and structure. So there are now usually a lot of defaults in between. But what we've done, I think people should just check it out and then let us know how we can improve. As a matter of fact, we are even open to having people join us. If you want to join us, let us know. Let's see. We are getting better. We're getting stronger. We have just gotten some good news are going to be popping out if you follow us on our social media. We already have some good news in the pipeline, and then we are definitely going to be expanding, right? Yeah. So that's for OneMAI. We are open to people. We are open to our communities because we also cannot do this alone, and that's one of the things the product itself is preaching. Because it is not just about the product, it's about the full ecosystem where we are able to create different nodes we're able to ensure that we have affiliate partners for people that have strong communities. We are able to work with, managers that are going to help us with expansion. We're able to work with teams that are going to help us continue to build a better product, a better infrastructure, so that it becomes a very, very structured ecosystem for us. The point to round this up, because we have very limited time, migrants we are not weak, right? So understanding a simple logic that collective energy can be able to help us build, build profitable ventures. Migrants are known to be builders because you know why? From the point you're crossing your country, you are much more ready to work. You are supposed to be capital creators. Then the goal is not for us to be hustling forever. The goal is again for us to for us to come here and structure our hustles until our system practically starts working for us. When I came in here, Nigeria Mom, I know that maybe you never knew this. When I came in here, I was never looking for a job. I simply went to partner with people that were going to be able to create values together. So, coming into Portugal on a job seeker visa, you are supposed to get a job within 3 months, right? That's what the law says. But when I came in here, my strategy was a bit different. Instead of looking for jobs immediately, I was not not in survival mode, but because I knew that if the core of my existence in this country is for me to be able to create value, right? Value will come back easily to me. So in that case, I started looking out for what I can do for, around here. And then as fate will have it, just around the corner, I met some guys in the tech industry. They supported me. They helped with, some of the things I needed. They put me on the company. I became the manager of the company. That is even before we created OneMAI, and we started working with some of the developers that we have in our country, so that's how you create value. Instead of you running up and down thinking, oh, okay, yes, I have to do this. I'm not saying you're not going to look for survival jobs. Of course, you have to get survival jobs. But what I'm saying is don't let survival jobs keep you forever. So I'm also inviting you once again to join our community, follow us on our social media. The NCIP community is also there if you're Nigerian. I don't know if the NCIP community is open to everybody, but I know that there are a lot of Nigerians there, and I think there are some please Nigerians know.
Yes, of course. The NCIP community is open to every Nigerian here. All you have to do is come, register, and attend monthly meetings, attend events. That's it. Yes. It's open to everyone. The next thing I want to say is I think I don't know when we'll go through the comment sections, but I saw a comment from a certain Eniola that talked about not being able to register to learn something, but they told him or her, I don't know, to come learn the language first. That is what they do. Yeah. That is what they do. You have to just learn that language. You're in Portugal. Yeah. Brace yourself up.
Yes.
And go and learn the language.
Yes.
You would be surprised. You'll be shocked the doors that will be open to you just because you can speak the Portuguese language.
That's right. Totally. I mean, once you are able to speak the Portuguese language, I bet you. But pending that time, before you get to you become a pro Portuguese speaker, start to build your entrepreneurship skills. And you can do that with us. We are actually going to be having groups of entrepreneurs that we're going to be doing weekly and monthly check-ins. So if you have a business, we are not. But the only caveat around this is that you have to be quite serious, because moving into entrepreneurship is not joke. Like we used to say back in the military school days, I'm a product of the military school. So we used to say it's not my mind. So you have to brace up and tie the rope of your trouser, which means you have to get serious. So because you are not going to get to my front and say, oh, okay, you want me to help you out with all of your processes. No, we are going to be guiding you. We will be here to support you. And I repeat, end to end, from ideation. All you need to do, signify. Let's see how we can put your structures together for you, from the point of your ideation to your go-to-market, to your understanding your research, to understanding your product, to your pricing, to your theme, to everything, even to matching, to the point where we can actually now look at how, if you have something solid, we can look around and see how we can raise some money, and set up business. You set up your business for you, but you have to be able to show already that this is how serious you are, so that we'll be able to stick up our necks for you. We are going to be we've prepared for the people that are very serious about becoming entrepreneurs. Like I said, it's going to be stressful, but at the end of the day, I think it is going to be worth it, because once you become an entrepreneur, there is no failure. All you do have is what we call a learning curve, and from a learning curve, you create things what we call the lessons learned, right? So we have created a migrant business starter kit where we package, some stuff that are going to be required for you to set up a business in Portugal. These things are discounted, like I said, from our partner organizations. And we have some tools that you need, some technology tools, for people that will require to use them. And we are definitely going to be working with a side hustle validation checklist, so that as you proceed, you get to understand that you are moving accordingly with the roadmap that we have created for you. Also, another thing that we want to offer to people that are on this platform is that you can, if you are interested in using the OneMAI platform, maybe you have a small group of people, we are going to be giving the community a free 3-month access, so that you get to understand how it can be very good for you to use. For people that have communities and you wish to become, like our affiliate partners, we have a couple of affiliate partners around the country already. You are also very welcome. Just, there's going to be a form. A form will be sent to you. Just fill the form, and I'm sure our team is going to be sending you an email after this to check up on you, to know if you really want, specific set of guidance moving forward. Then we will look into it. So, and then the community is open again. We invite you to. We'll be having monthly accountability call. We'll be having business feedback clinics, so that for people that are actually serious, this is not for people that are just that are not fully ready to get serious with creating value for themselves. So with that being said, I really want to thank you guys again. That's gonna be, I think we stayed within timing. I tried as much as possible not to use big jargons, business jargons. But Nigeria, please, I don't know what we have in the chat. If there's anything that's required, if there's any Q&A, any questions, I am willing to quickly answer them now.
While I take a look at that, we have some businesses to quickly advertise. So maybe we can flash those quickly while I look at the questions that are in the chat box.
Awesome. I think we have some Nigerian businesses that are already, that are doing some good stuff already. Yes, but please don't ever hesitate to reach out. Setting up a business is one thing. Creating making it more scalable is another thing, right? When you can have some customers, there are strategies we use to scale a business, and that right there is extremely important. Once your business is able to scale, yes, then you should be ready to take over the world. So don't be afraid. Do not ever be afraid. You have a seat waiting for you on the economic table, and you can get it. All you need to do is put up your structure. Yes, Nigeria as well.
I'll just read comments. I don't think I've seen any question per se, so I'll just read comments here.
Okay.
There's one comment that says Nigerians should be at a level where 10 to 20 people can come together and open one company and provide those services to European businesses. Awesome. If we can do this.
That is right. That is right.
Can do this.
That's whoever said that. Thank you very much. That's a very solid addition. I mean, those are the kind of things we should look at.
Is Mr. Ugo Onyeri?
Yes.
The one that said that.
Thank you, Mr. Ugo, for that addition. Yes, we are. That's one of the reasons why we are starting this movement, which of course we're going to be reaching out for subsequent ones, and our doors are open for us to guide you through. For us to guide you through accordingly to the end of it. Yeah. So I'd say some businesses, some Nigerian-owned businesses are flashing through already. I saw Rhythm and Roots. Rhythm and Roots is a fantastic restaurant. We go there. We have our events there. They have solid food. I see Elisha Global Services, for when it comes to logistics, it comes to some visas. I think there are some stuffs there. Yeah, some of those things we will try to be promoting them also from time to time, so that we are able to support ourselves, support our community businesses, because this is just how we can build a foundation for it to blossom into something bigger. Our team in the back end, do you have other things, other businesses you want to quickly flash before we are going to be rounding up for today?
Yeah, while they do that, there's another comment here. It says, may I request if it is possible for the Nigerian community to provide good Portuguese language training materials, in bracket, that is well structured and easy to follow, bracket close, for interested persons.
Yes.
Okay, I can give you those. Because I have done these language classes a couple of times. I've done it a couple of times, and I have a lot of materials at home. So if you don't mind, you can reach out to me on my social media, or if you have my phone number, I don't know, Naija Hot Mom on social media. You can reach out to me, and I can give you some of those materials I have at home.
Fantastic. And then once Naija Hot Mom gives you the training materials, then maybe me and you can start practicing. Because I need to polish my Portuguese too. Yeah.
Muito bem.
Yeah, muito bem. It's interesting. Yes, it is. So is there any other question? But we are looking forward to so let me just round up my speech since there are no questions in it. So like I said again, we are looking forward to you guys joining us. If you feel you have the mindset to become an entrepreneur, please reach out to us. If you want to join the Nigerians in Portugal community, reach out to us. We're going to be contacting you afterwards to let you know next steps, and please fill some of these forms, and then we will be super glad to carry you from where you are to the championship table. Thank you very much, everybody.
Okay, in the chat, I think I'm seeing they just flashed a training and nutrition flyer. by Bikes and Lifts. Richard, he trains people and he provides structured menu for just you to live a healthy life. I think we had, I don't know, let me just quickly see.
Oh, yeah, that's Richard. Richard is a young man that does this nutrition stuff. Wow, fantastic. These things are good to hear. Richard, yes, you have to start viewing whatever you're doing as a scalable thing, because the food and the nutrition industry globally is so large. I don't have the numbers off my head, but it is so large that even when what I'm trying to say is there's no limit to what you can do in that industry. So you can start from somewhere. So let's look. These are the kind of things I'm speaking about. So let's start from whatever product you're offering right now. Let's take it further to where you can become a more scalable brand. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. So for today, we've had some food vendors. We had Flavors by Oyinda flashed here. We had another one from Lisbon. Flavors by Oyinda is in Porto, located at Rua de Amial in Porto. Then you have other Nigerian restaurant here too, the Afi restaurant, the Mr. Johnson's restaurant. Then we have Hair and Beauty as well. We have C Beauty World. You can check them up on Instagram. You have Lady Jane Atelier. You have the Fitness and Health, I've already mentioned, Bikes and Lifts by Richard. You have DHL services as well. If you want to sell anything through DHL, you have the service point located somewhere in Lisbon as well. The flyer was also there. So I want to use the opportunity for you to thank everyone that joined the live. Thank you so much for coming. I hope we do this again and we do it better the next time. Go back and rewatch the video, and I'm sure you understand better. Where you have a few doubts, you can reach out to Mr. TJ. He's the business coach here. Thank you so much. I was just the host, Naija Hot Mom. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, everybody. I'll see you on the championship. All right.